Class, morning everyone.
Morning.
How are you guys feeling today?
Great.
Okay, I can see some nervous faces here. I'm not too sure why I'm conducting classes, but you guys are the one who is a bit nervous. Okay, but that's fine. Okay, today we're going to do the next topic, which is subsequent close adjustment. Okay, so this is a continuation of what we went through yesterday on our private equity introduction. You guys went through the basic of what is a private equity. And today we're going to go to the next topic, which is a subsequent close adjustment. This is one of the process we do in private equity. Okay, what we're going to achieve in today's lesson, okay, we're going to understand what is subsequent close. Okay, what do we mean by subsequent close? Okay, list the steps to create what we call an equalization model. Okay, when we do subsequent close, we will create some sort of an equalization model. So what's the steps to create this equalization model? And lastly, you guys will be tasked to create an equalization model yourself. Okay? This morning, I've actually sent you guys a Google link. You guys receive it?
Yes.
Okay? You guys receive it? We're not going to use it now, we're going to use it later. Okay? At the end of the class, you guys will click into the link, download the Excel sheet, and then we'll do an activity. Clear so far? Before we start, any other questions?
No.
No? Alright, let's go. Okay, sorry, before showing you, okay, I can show you this personal problem. Okay, this is a typical life cycle of a PE fund. Okay, you guys have seen this particular graph yesterday. Okay, on a typical life cycle. You guys still recall when do we accept new investor? From the screen, can you see when do we accept new investor? If the screen is not too clear, do you see the word acceptance somewhere?
Yeah, the one in blue.
The one in blue, right? Okay, acceptance of LP. Okay, this is the period whereby we accept new investor into the fund. Okay, it is seen from the chart color. Okay, this is at the very early stage of the fund. Okay, the fund started off in 2017, typically ends about 2028, about 10-11 years. Okay, at the very start of the fund, this is where the subscription period is. This is where we accept new investor into the fund. Okay, investors are not going to come in all at the same time. I mean, in the ideal world, investors are not going to come in at the same time. They're going to come in the form of batches. Okay, perhaps the first time around when the fund manager goes out and market the fund, I get 3 investors who come. 3 of you, trust me, you guys come in first. Okay, later on, maybe 6 months down the road, okay, I managed to convince 3 other more investors to come in. And you guys come in as the second batch. Okay, so because of new investors who come in later, other than the first, we need to do this thing known as a subsequent close adjustment. Okay, so let's get the concept right. Why we need to do a subsequent close adjustment? It's really because of new investor coming into the fund. Okay, so for example, let's use a very basic example. Okay, imagine we were to buy a shop house. Okay, to rent. Okay, for say 900,000. Okay, initially this 900,000 was being split equally between the 3 of you. Okay, assuming you guys have equal share in the fund, how much would each of you have contributed for this 900,000 shop house? Between the 3 of you. 300,000, right? So you contribute 300,000 to the fund, I will buy the shop house, we are good. Okay? 6 months down the road, I managed to find 3 other investors. And you guys, these 3 other investors want to come into the fund as well. Okay? The fund still only have 1 shop house. Okay? But you guys want to contribute your capital to my fund. Okay? So you guys need to pay for that shop house as well. Okay? So assuming this 900,000 shop house were to be divided equally among 6 of you, how much will you guys have to pay individually? 150, Lois? Correct. Each of you have to pay an addition. Each one of you should have paid 150,000. Okay? So in this case, you guys will have somehow overpaid by 150,000. Am I right? How do you guys get the money back of this overpay? What do you think? you guys don't have to sell it. You guys actually get it from the second group of investors, okay? Because they will have to contribute their supposedly amount to this shop house, okay? They have to pay this $150,000 to the fund, okay? And the fund will then act as an agent to pay back this $150,000 back to you as an investor, okay? So net, at the end of the day, you think, oh, I only pay $150,000 for this particular shop house, okay? So that is what we know as a subsequent close adjustment, okay? So this is just to recap when do we do this subsequent close adjustment? At the start, typically at the start of the year, okay? So we will then go on to how do you calculate this subsequent close adjustment, okay? Take note, there is 4 main steps that we need to do when we do this subsequent close adjustment. The very first step, okay? What did I ask you guys just now? I asked you guys how much did I call for the shop house? And what was the amount that you guys given to me? 300,000. So in total would have been 900,000. Okay? So the first step we need to do, we need to identify the capital amount that was previously allocated to the current investor. Current existing investors, I'm going to use the term interchangeably, which means you guys. Okay? So this is what the first step kind of looks like. Okay? You're going to determine how much you have called for. Okay? In my example here, I used $4 million. Okay? I know the example I gave was 900,000. The example here I used was 4 million. Okay? Depending on how much your capital in the fund. Okay? I will then allocate based on your share of your capital in the fund. Okay? So different allocation, based on your share, I will allocate a different amount. Okay, sorry, I'm going to correct myself. Okay? This is the amount that you contribute to the fund. This 1 million is the cost of the investment that you have in the fund. Okay? So based on your capital, you're going to contribute 250,000, 250,000, and 500,000. Okay? So assuming three of you, 250, 250, 500,000. Because you guys have different share in the fund. Okay? Some of you decide to invest more, great. Okay? Besides investment, in order for a fund to operate, there's going to be some expenses paid as well. You want to pay for your audit fee, your legal fee, there's going to be some expenses paid as well. So as a fund manager, I will need to call for these expenses from the investor as well. It's only fair that you guys are paying for the expenses for the fund that you are investing in. So besides investment, I also need to call for the expenses as well. So it kind of looks out that, oh, for the first time I call money from you guys, for you guys to contribute to the fund, this is the amount that you guys have to contribute. Approximately 262,000, 525,000 for each of you. Okay, assuming this is the amount of capital that you have in the fund. Okay? So this is, sorry Lois? A bit blur? Sure. Which part exactly are you? Okay, sure, understand. Okay, so Lois is a little bit unclear. Let me clarify a bit. Okay, so investor A, B, C are the existing investors that you guys have. You guys are in the fund. Okay, and like all investors, depending on your ability, you invest different amount into the fund. Okay, so assuming Nandini, you're more wealthy, you want to invest $2 million into the fund. Okay, Eric, Terence, you guys are newly in the job. You guys only invest $1 million in the fund. Okay, so you have different ability to invest. Okay, and so if I want to buy a shop house, say $1 million, I will call money from you guys. Say, hey guys, time to give me some money. I want to buy the shop house as an investment. You guys will pay in accordance to your amount, to the percentage that you contributed. Since Nandini contributed 50% of 4 million, okay. When I ask for $1 million, Nandini will obviously pay out 50% of the $1 million, which is 500,000. Okay? Terence and Eric will then pay out 250,000 each, based on their percentage of the fund. Okay? And likewise, for anything that I want to call for, I want money to do do something, I will always go on that percentage. Okay, so if you want to call money to pay for some expenses, say 500,000, 50,000, I will also call 50% of 50,000 gives you about 25,000. Okay, so it will always based on that percentage. Okay, does that answer your question? Still blur? Don't worry. Let's look at the next slide. No, it's the same concept. Hopefully that will get you understand what topic, how do we allocate the amount. Okay?
Because just now you were saying that if there's three investors, right?
Mm.
And after that the three of us come to.
Yes.
So
How
so to them it's like they worked out more earlier.
Yes,
And
correct.
we use our money to go to them. So for ours time we have to wait for the next investors.
No, we don't have.
Subsequent investors. Then what about our profit?
Okay.
Then we lose out if we
Nah, I know that's what you're thinking about. No, you wouldn't lose out. Okay? Let me go on to the next slide so that you guys can get a better concept of how this money is being transferred from the new investors to the existing investors. Okay? Okay? So looking at the next slide. Okay? So the first step, we identify how much you guys have contributed. Okay? The next step is to identify the commitment of all the investors, including the sub-close investors, which are you guys. Okay, so now you guys are into the picture already. Okay? And then once I know how much you guys have invested, I will reallocate, for example, that $1 million among the 6 of you. Okay? But first I need to know how much you guys contributed. If you still recall, Eric, Terence contribute $1 million each, Nandini $2 million. So how much do you guys contribute? Let's see. Okay? So over here, okay, you notice that I have actually differentiate them in different colors. Okay? The first 3 color A, B, C was Nandini, Terence, and Eric. Okay? Assuming the 2 new investors, okay, I only have 2. Okay? Investor D and investor E. Notice the new there, D and E investors. Each of you also contributed $2 million into the fund. Okay? So now my fund has how many $1 million in terms of commitment? $4 million initially, plus 2 and 2 million from each of you. How much would that be? $8 million. So notice here, $8 million. Okay? So based on this $8 million, how much percentage you have in the fund? Andy, assuming you contribute $2 million in the $8 million fund, how much is your percentage in the fund? 25%. Okay? Nandini, you remember how much percentage you have in the fund just now? Based on your 2 million, no, your 2 million in a $4 million fund, how much was the percentage? 50%, right? Okay. Because of them coming in, your percentage have reduced to 25%. Okay? So everyone's percentage kind of reduced a little bit because of new investors coming in. So this amount has been, your holding in the fund has been diluted. Okay? Your holdings is being diluted.
Because just now she was, her investment was
4 million. So no, her investment was fine. Her investment was $2 million in a $4 million fund. Okay, her investment was $2 million in a $4 million fund. So she holds technically half of the fund. But now that with you guys coming in, okay, you guys bring in $4 million into the fund. The total fund size is $8 million. Okay, she still only have $2 million in the fund, so she only holds 25% in the fund. Her holdings in the fund gets diluted. Get that part so far? Okay? So based on the same amount that we have called for initially, the $1 million and the 50,000. Okay, because I didn't buy any additional investment. I only managed to get new investor coming. Assuming you guys, 3 of you, plus Lois and Andy, all coming from day 1, how much will you have been contributed to that $1 million investment? Lois, I pose the question to you. Okay? Assuming $1 million investment, your shareholding in the fund is 25%, how much would you have contributed? 250,000, which is the amount here. Okay? For expenses, likewise, the expenses are the fund want to call from you is 50,000. Okay? Because your holding is 25%, and how much in terms of expenses will I call from you? 25% over 50,000. 2,500? Not really. 12,500. Okay? Because it's 50,000 times 25%. 12,500. Okay? So this is the table that you will see as if, okay, as if all of you come in on day one. Okay? But as we know, you guys don't come in on day one. You guys come in on day one, you guys come in subsequently, much later. Okay? So how do we balance it out? Okay? This is where the next steps comes on. Okay? Just to recap, the first step, or step 2, we're identifying what is the commitment of all the investors between the existing and the new investors. Okay? And then we reallocate the amount based on the new commitment. Okay? So we recalculate the amount, same amount based on the new commitment. That's when then we come on the 4th step. Okay? The 4th step is to calculate the difference between step 1 and step 3. Okay? So step 1 was only you guys. Step 3, you guys came in. Okay? We then need to calculate how much we need to pay back from the new investors to the existing investors. Okay? For new investors, you will have to pay up the 250,000 and 12,500, okay, to approximately 26,000. Okay? You need to pay this up to the fund. Okay? And this amount that the fund will receive will then pay to the existing investors. Okay? So you notice here at the bottom, existing investors, you get a positive amount, which means you're going to receive some sort of money. Okay? For the new investors, you will see yourself having a negative amount because you're going to pay up this money to the fund, and the fund will then redistribute back to the existing investors.
But how long will the negative be?
So until you pay up. Until you pay up. So I mean, this amount, you're just going to pay up to kind of bring yourself up to the same level as the guys. Okay? You're going to bring yourself up to the same level as the guys because you're contributing to the fund to invest. Okay? So you need to bring yourself to the same, you need to pay up for the same amount of percentage that you're supposed to have in the fund. Okay? And Lois, you asked a very good question just now. Well, you come in a bit later, wouldn't you be losing out? Okay? Technically, no. In private equity, what we want to achieve is, regardless of when you come in, we will treat you as if you come in from day one. Okay? So any profit and loss in the fund, even though they come in first, because you come in later, you're going to share the same profit and loss as them. Then, Nandini, Terence, and Eric will probably ask one question. Wouldn't they be the one losing out?
Yeah.
Right. They'll be losing out, right? I
Share
mean,
the profit first.
yeah, they share, like, no, I come into the fund, I make profit, suddenly someone needs to come in and share with me. Doesn't make sense. Okay? I mean, do you guys have the question in your mind?
Yes,
Okay?
yes, I have a question. I come in first.
Mm.
I supposed to make money from them. Then I become share diluted.
Correct.
So it's supposed to be maybe I put $1, then I earn 1.2.
Mm-hmm. Okay?
In this way is a investor want to be have money.
Okay.
And then also, let's say if we come in, then we are reluctant to be able to share with us because it's earning already.
Correct.
So how will you handle it?
Okay. So in most cases, okay, in your typical PE fund, the existing investors have no say of whether new investors come in or not. It's at the discretion of the fund manager. Okay, it's at the discretion of the fund manager. And typically, private equity investment is a long-term investment. Okay, approximately 10 years. You hardly see money being made in the first 2 years or even first 5 years, because we're looking to change the company to invest. I mean, for a long term, for it to start seeing a profit. Okay, that's the reason why
Is
only
it a confirm earn thing?
no investment is never a confirmed
But
earning.
how would you tell the client first?
But that's a separate part.
How long later then you can see the profit usually?
Usually, you see profit, if any, at the 7 to 8 years.
Very long one.
That's why private equity is a long-term investment. As I mentioned yesterday in yesterday's class, private equity is a long-term investment, 10 years typically. So investors have no say on what kind of investment they want to invest in, okay? And they also cannot restrict the fund managers from going out to attract more investors coming in. The only thing that a fund manager can do is to help compensate for them because they contribute the money early. Okay? So if you notice on the screen, okay, there's one portion that
Can you
I
break the
didn't
investment to within any time?
say it again.
Can you break the investment list that you want to back
Cannot.
out anytime?
Cannot.
Why? Penalty.
No, private equity investors cannot withdraw from the fund at any point in time. They only can sell it to someone else.
So if I buy already and I don't want, I have to sell it to someone else.
Yeah, they sell it to someone
Will
else.
you all help us to find the someone else? Or
No.
What if my friend no money?
Then
So they cannot invest.
no, if you cannot invest, okay?
I'm stuck to myself already.
No,
Wow, what?
I know, understand. Okay, this is what what you're discussing here is a bit off topic to what we are talking about in terms of the calculation. Okay, I'll come back to you separately. Maybe we can talk separately offline on the what will happen if you cannot pay out. Okay, or what will happen if you are unable to pay out further investment. Okay, because this is a bit different from what we are doing on subsequent close adjustment calculation. Okay, the point I want to bring across is, okay, remember just now we said about first group investors come in, you pay out the money first, okay, and then later on you got to share that particular holdings with the new investors. Okay, you guys will feel a bit shortchanged. Okay, look at the screen. Tell me something that you noticed that I did not mention earlier. Premium interest. Thank you, Eric. Okay, premium interest. Notice this premium interest, who is on negative and who's on positive. Sorry, say again, Eric.
New investor in the negative.
New investor negative. Existing investor positive. Okay, which means you are supposed to receive or pay interest. Receive. Thank you, Nandini. Okay, this interest is supposed to be paid by the new investors to you guys, to the existing investors, to make up for the loss, to make up for the time value of money. Because you guys come in first, you guys contribute that $1 million first. Okay, they come in 6 months later, they want a pie, they want a share of the pie, they need to pay out the interest to you. Okay, so this is how we kind of make it fair across the new and existing investors. Got it? Okay. So this is how a typical complete equalization model looks like. Okay. First step, the first graph. What is it? Identify what amount has been called and allocated to previous investor. Second step, we then allocate the investment to all the investors, including the old and the new investor. And the last step, we will calculate the difference between step 1 and step 3 to come out the amount to be called and returned to the investor. Okay? So a typical equalization model, you'll find yourself seeing 3 separate tables. Okay? So that you can complete the entire equalization model. Okay? So let's do a recap. Okay? The 4 steps of equalization subsequent close. What is step 1? Andy?
New investor.
No, step 1 is not new investor.
Determine the amount to invest.
Not yet. Determine the amount to invest. Okay, I think you're roughly close. What amount to invest? Who invests?
The investor.
The investor. Okay, the exact amount that they have contributed. Okay, So identify amount contributed to current investor. Okay. Step 2. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't have shown. But if anyone has seen it, can someone tell me what step 2?
Identify commitment.
Identify commitment, okay, of first, first. Identify commitment of who? Current investors and new investors. Very good. Okay. Identify commitment of all investors, including current and new investors. Okay. The third one. Third one. So now that I know the investment, I know the amount already. Okay. I know how much they're committed. What's the third step that I will do? Not really expense yet. Recalculate. Thank you, Terence. I'll recalculate. Okay, based on the new investors and the existing investors. Okay. Step 4.
Interest.
No, not interest yet.
Okay, the difference between step 3 and step 1.
Correct. Calculate the difference between step 1 and step 3. Okay, good. You guys got the idea so far. Okay. So, any questions before we move on to activity?
It means the earlier the person who invest, you actually get the fund earlier.
Correct.
Earlier.
He'll get the money. What the person who earlier invests, technically he doesn't really have any benefit at all. Okay.
But when the new investor come in, you actually get back the money.
He'll get back a portion of the money.
Depending on
The amount that he contributed earlier. Yeah. But the only thing that he do is, his amount gets diluted. But it means that
the share
it gets diluted. But which means that the fund as a whole can invest in more investment. Because if I only have $4 million, I only can buy 4 shop houses, for example. Now that I have $8 million, I can buy 4 shop house, 2 terrace house, for example. I can invest in more things. Okay, so it's always good to have more investors coming in. Okay? Very good? Okay, right now we're going to do an activity, okay? But because of the time issue, I'm going to work together the activity with you. Okay? We're going to do it together as a class, okay? On this particular activity. Okay. I believe you guys have it on your screen as well, right? This Excel sheet. Okay? If you look into this, this is a typical, if you notice, this is a typical kind of equalization model that we will have completed ourselves. If you look at the top left hand corner, what's the instruction? Eric, would you mind help me read the instruction? Yes.
Today,
Mm-hmm.
Acta private equity funds admitted 2 limited partners. Limited partners D committed 3 million and limited partner E committed 4 million.
Okay.
Please calculate the amount to be called return from the limited partners.
Yeah.
For the purpose of this activity, we will not be calculating the interest.
Mm-hmm.
Clue is only for you to populate the green cells.
Okay, you need to populate the amount in green cells. Okay, so very quickly, this is the step 1 as we all recall. Okay, this is step 1 as we all recall. The amount that we initially contributed. Step 2, we'll identify the new investor. Okay, so in green cell E, who is going to be here? D. Okay, new investor D. How much D committed? 3 million. How much E committed? 4 million. Okay, so this will get to the Excel sheet will automatically recalculate, okay, the investor. Okay, so step 4, what would you typically do? Calculate the difference. Okay, step 4 is usually calculate the difference. Okay, we will actually need to use number to minus step 1 and step 3 to get to step 4. Okay? And then that's where you complete your whole entire equalization model.
Okay, stop.
Okay?